Due to the upcoming 13th District Congressional primary, Allie, Arav, Jagroop, and Ebel reached out to the Democratic candidates running for Congress. The contestants for the Democratic nomination are David Gill, Betsy Dirksen-Londrigan, John Ebel, Eric Jones, and Angel Sides. Interviews with the 5 candidates were conducted in order to better understand their political stances and what issues they plan on addressing should they win the election. Getting to know the candidates and why they are running was the first part of each interview.
Yeah, I live in Bloomington with my wife Elaine, and I'm an emergency room doctor. My desire to run is really driven in large part by the things that I see in the emergency room. I see a lot of people suffering and dying because of the way that we finance healthcare here in America.
My name is Betsy Dirksen-Londrigan. I'm born and raised in Springfield, Illinois. I'm a U of I grad. I decided to get into this race the day that I saw our current Congressman Rodney Davis and Donald Trump celebrating on the White House lawn the day that they voted Trump Care out of the House.
My name is John Ebel. I am a U.S. Navy veteran. I spent a total of 11 years in the Navy. I am a professor here at the University of Illinois. I teach in the Department of Religion. I believe that we aren't represented well, and sort of uniquely at the congressional level. I'm a problem-solving sort of person, and I see a big problem in Congress.
My name is Eric Jones, and I was born and raised in Centralia. I'm a former Illinois Assistant Attorney General, and I spent time working in Congress as an investigative counsel. I think this district deserves a representative who is going to go to Washington and fight on behalf of what makes the most sense for the people living here.
I was born in Jacksonville, Illinois, not far from Springfield, where I live right now. I'm a teacher and an activist, and I've been producing a commentary on free speech television.
As a result of healthcare being a central issue that many Americans are concerned about, each candidate talked about their ideas for a new and improved healthcare bill.
And I've been advocating since that time for a single-payer healthcare system, an improved Medicare for all system. And I think that we need someone in Congress with my type of background in healthcare.
What we've got right now is the Affordable Care Act, the Obamacare. So the first thing that I think that we need to do is to protect it and to stabilize it, and then to introduce a public option.
I'm an advocate for a single-payer system, expanded, improved Medicare for all. I argue for that from a moral perspective, that I think we are all obligated to look out for each other.
What I've been recommending on that is opening up Medicare, our Medicare system, so that anybody who wants into it can get into it.
Expanding Medicare. Millions of Americans die because they don't get preventative health care. No one wants to have a medical bankruptcy or go into debt.
Because many Democratic candidates have similar beliefs and opinions, each candidate was asked about what makes their campaign unique.
Coming from the background that I come from in healthcare, I can be the healthcare champion that I think that we need in the U.S. House. There's the winnability factor. I ran for this same seat once before, back in 2012.
I'm the only candidate who is born and raised here in the district. All of my time and energy, both professionally and personally, is invested right here in the 13th district.
We are not an insider campaign. I'm not an insider candidate. I will be listening to the people in this district like I do in my professional life, and I will be reaching conclusions and building arguments from evidence. I want to say a little bit more about being a veteran and how that is important here. I am someone who has a record of putting my country before myself.
The distinction I think I offer here is that every candidate is going to go talk about what they're going to do. I spend a lot of time talking about what I've done. So I've never run for office before, but I've spent most of my career in public service, where I would use the authority of either the Attorney General's office or the committee to uncover problems, build a record of that problem, find a solution, and then turn that solution into law.
I'm a grassroots candidate, and that's. I don't know of any other candidate who's speaking out against the corruption in our system.